That would make sense. Thanks, everybody. Sorry for the delay. A muted microphone. Got to get on it. What I was starting with today, big shout out, say hello to everyone. Sorry for that delay. How's everyone doing on a Thursday? Let's start all over again. What we're going to start with today are the cues and this massive shark pattern in the weekly that, we are on our way here, marching on this path to a rather significant test. So let's not get complacent. I'm going to flash some massive patterns, massive, that we need to start considering. But before I go any further, hello, chat. What's going on? Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it's been that kind of a day. Great to see everyone, though, and I appreciate the patience here. We're going to look at the cues briefly. I want to focus on semiconductor stocks and then look at what not only the immediate picture is, but some rather big pattern developments. Right now, the cues facing an inevitable test here in the first quarter, as high as 424. 424 has been a target for a long time. And, maybe as high as 445, we'll see as earnings start to really unfold. But it's, gives us an important closing of the gap, if you will. I mean, ever since we got this dot on the weekly back in, I guess that was September, it's been fully on. Just super strong. But now, in the same way we were down here, we need to start considering what's going to happen up in this nether region. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, sound is back. Hope it's better. Great to see everyone in the chat. What's going on? Today, the cues were really pushing hard, almost 413 at the high. Here's the daily level. Pretty much the same thing, but this is interesting to me because the daily chart as well is facing a retest of some overhead resistance. Again, 412. Look at that yellow dot from, what was that, right at the beginning of the year, where that candle has an open value of 411.28. Plant that in your brain. 411.28. That's a big number. Now, I'm still thinking within the weekly we could push higher, but we're going to hit some speed bumps, just like Bitcoin, okay? It's a mechanical process. So when we get up here, one, we're not chasing. It drives me a little crazy. I don't feel like I'm allocated enough on this move, but I'm just going to have to chill and be patient, maybe go to Legoland for a couple days. I think I really am overdue. Take my son to Legoland and chill for a few days there. It's I think I need that. Maybe that, or maybe it's time for a Disney World run. I don't know. Anyway, maybe that's probably it's a good time if we're going to pause and digest this. Maybe that's what I should be doing, thinking here. Regardless, there's big patterns here. And I want to just kind of quickly run through some larger developments, some things that happened yesterday and that were pretty interesting. AMD has been a big winner for us, but much like NASDAQ and Q, you're pushing the top end of some patterns. 170, 184 area. You already have a check back. There's T1. Arrow, HSI arrow, give me a dot in here, and then it's time to consider this to put that to bed for a little bit. I love semis. I think semiconductors are going to be the place to be for not only this year, but the next 5 years. But we need to pick our spots carefully. AMD did an interesting thing. And it's, really pushing up after some HSI that we've seen. Strong. I mean, it's just been amazing. But remember, back in October, we were talking about that shark pattern. had a dot, had everything you wanted to see, launch straight through. I mean, it's just remarkable. That was right at 95. That was a 3 ideas for us, and now 165. Okay. Longer term, you'll see. I think a bunch of these, we know NVIDIA doing what it's doing, but these other ones aren't covered as much as NVIDIA. AMD is probably almost as equivalent to NVIDIA. Here's Taiwan Semi, another beautiful Type 2 deep crab. We talked about that back in October. Target 2 is 117.78. I'll take a look up there. And then another really interesting one that, look, they're hitting now. We're there. We're hitting now. No confirmation just yet, but we're in the zone where Applied Materials is a massive all-time bat pattern. Just trying to push up above the 156 level. Maybe we go as high as 180, but no confirmation yet. Little amplified, but nothing quite there. And here's the interesting thing that happened literally in the last 2 days. We had another bullish HSI. I think I mentioned this Tuesday. Did I mention this Tuesday? Thought I did. Recently. Daily HSI continuation. Right there. It triggered 2 days ago. You checked back, retested 151. You hit 160. But this should be the start of something where you push higher, 165 or even a little higher in that zone. In the same way you had that and that and that. Even this stuff here, treat it dot to dot. Semis are interesting. And SMH, of course, looks like that. Pretty strong. Just new highs. New highs. New highs. That's a massive chart. And your weekly looks like this. Amazing. Above the hop level, we had a bat pattern. You have structures here. On the first test, and that was back in the summer, you had perfect HSI, and that was back in June. And then we got a dot. Strong correction, but no type 1. Okay, that happens. It took its time going, sideways. It went down, but couldn't really get to target 1. Came back up with a few of the things that we saw in October, and now here we are. Checking back immediately. So from a harmonic pattern framework perspective, ask yourself, where are you? How far have you come? Is this a breakout that we want to long? Or do we need to be a little cautious? I would say a little cautious with these kind of signals, these kind of levels. I think the semis are, I think they're the strongest tech sector of all. But you're now checking back. You're hitting some things where, okay, I'm going to watch, definitely closely monitor this situation. It's just like Bitcoin. We got to Bitcoin. Everyone wants Bitcoin to go to 100,000. I still say Bitcoin goes to 103 on the cycle. But there's a process that goes on in the markets that we all have to embrace, get familiar with, learn, live, love, and profit from. And that's what's going on here. A lot of these individuals, here's NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA is super strong. 470 was above 470 this morning. Ever since that weekly HSI, the arrow still remains from long ago. And if you recall, we had a type 2 bat pattern right there at 410, and now look at it. So if you missed it, learn from that. I mean, right now, even on the daily, we're trying to come out of HSI right here. Still a little bit high in the zone, but you're seeing some early warning signs. That's it. 1 second. Thank you. Okay. Still have this thing lingering. Let's keep it moving. SPY. Um, the SPY too. The SPY has been one harmonic beast. And remember 411 back in October? I mean, that was amazing. And it blew through the shark. So this is more of a potential, a stronger potential failure on the daily. But high level HSI, maybe we check back there, 468. On the weekly, it's like this. We're hitting another HSI. Again, just overbought indicators. They're, if it's RSI, relative strength, whatever you want to use. HSI, we have kind of reached the temporary limit where we're going to have to kind of digest this a little bit and work it out. That's the SPY. And, this morning on the SPY was like this. Okay, a couple of 4-hour currently overbought signals. So be aware of all of that. It's getting, to me, it's getting a little heavy. That's it. It's getting a little bit heavy up there. And then individually, we've seen other issues like, the big ones, Microsoft trying to push up, but hey, another HSI up here. All I'm saying is caution. Just it's a cautionary kind of a signal. And you're early. Yesterday you checked back. Today, okay, you popped up. What about maybe a doji or something in development here? Let's blow that up. Let's see how that closes. Because actually today would be right blow through. Check back. All of that's around 390. So just trying to highlight some of the immediate things that have developed. That's on a 4-hour chart. There's the daily. And again, I'm not afraid of like a high level continuation signal like that, even in a bearish zone. We've talked about that. But, you're up here. You're now overbought. And something that looks like is very possible about to complete here next couple of days. Again, just be on your toes with this market. Can we get the complex formation like that? Bang, and then maybe like tomorrow or the next couple of days you come back down, much like you did back here with a complex structure. It will be an M formation. When will it come out of the zone? Another day or two? Let's keep an eye on it. I mean, we've come such a far way even with Microsoft. And of course, I'm not saying this is end all be all stuff. And that breakout, look, when we throw a trend line, if we take away the patterns, looks like a massive breakout. But I see a couple flashing potential warning signs. There's a weekly. So keep an eye on that. We'll know really soon. I mean, it's literally in a couple of days. And what's earnings coming in here? Next week, Tuesday. So on spot here for this. We haven't gotten the signal yet, and the trend is still up in the short term. I want to be clear. I'm just trying to think ahead, couple of moves ahead of what's to come. Okay, well, in the same way we were back here, back in September, October, looking for that reaction to finish. So be aware of that. Not to mention stuff like Apple. Okay, so Apple looking really good on the weekly, but you get more detail on the daily. What happened today is critical of, we have a shark pattern on Apple. Basically 180, 182 is the target one off the shark. Now we get a dot, so can we send that back into for the retest for the shark type 2? After today, we get it on the close, but then after today, we should see some kind of continuation to get back to retest that zone. Just be aware of that. Everyone, get on over to harmonictrader.com. We do lots of fun stuff there if you're a premium member. Yesterday we had the crypto webinar. I'll show one or two of the things that would just kind of review one or two of the things that we did there yesterday in a second. But become a basic member and then, get the software. That's what we work off of. HPC at sr-analyst.com. Okay. That is, you can try any of them for free. There you go. The Trading View one, I think that's the best place to start. Okay, enough. Go back to this. So we're trying to line up a bunch of these and gauge how strong, how high are the Qs going to go? Are they going to go straight to 424? Are we going to grind higher? I mean, there's no doubt those targets are sitting up there, but not all tech is the same. We have Tesla, which I've been looking for a dot for days, somewhere around 235, 232. But the dot didn't come in until yesterday at 213, and now you're 210. So literally today is the first day against that dot where if you're looking for this thing to start the return phase, it's there. Maybe looking for it right at the check back was premature. But and again, why we wait for the dot? The dot is the development phase. There it is. So I'll look for this tomorrow. Start looking for opportunities on this tomorrow. Go on the, what was it, the 4-hour? I think we have a shark off of, no, yeah, there it is. So it is a shark, and it's a type, it's on the 4-hour, it's a type 2 shark where it might be as low as 202, folks, before that thing turns. I still think retesting going back to 260 is the play for the year on Tesla. But the way this is coming together, yeah, give me the daily dot. Give me the daily dot a little lower. And I mean, it could be even a touch under 200. So, patience, line it up, and we will then target it. A couple other very interesting individual stocks, tech stocks, look like this. Good old Coinbase. What's going on here? Dot yesterday, today, retesting that dot. Why is that so important? Look, weekly crab pattern with target 1 at 127. That is the number. On the weekly time frame, it's not quite there yet, but I'll look at the daily. The daily has a dot. Yesterday, consider it day 1. Okay, today being day 1. 1 second. So if today's day 1, ask yourself, what's HSI doing? What's Amplified doing? They're still in the zone, but a little retest, that would be a big development on Coinbase. There, and interestingly enough, HSI has a secondary test, so we will likely get an arrow on the next bar that pops out of that zone. It might be tomorrow, going to next week. I mean, today's Thursday, Friday. Seems more likely that we would want to target that for a turnaround next week. Pretty interesting stuff. The daily. Daily has an M formation. Look at that big complex structure up here. Like that. All the way back down to oversold on the daily. So you're in that window. I mean, I would say you're in a 3 to 5 window that next week we want to be looking for triggers on Coinbase. And then the other one in that same area, big patterns, big targets, MicroStrategy got to its number and just rocketed. You're at target one right here. There you go. Oh no, the deep crab. You're not at target one on the weekly, but the daily you are. The weekly is like that. The daily is a slightly smaller pattern, 481. Okay. This is a real nice reaction that is trying to end today. Check it out. HSI is trying to come out of that zone. It won't be official until the close. So this is going to be something we really talk about in the next few days. Maybe by Tuesday, we will be looking for that turnaround. Amplified, trying to get out of the zone. HSI, quite close. Don't know if it's going to be today. Like I said, it might be tomorrow. So be aware of that. Nice one. What's going on, everyone? Great to see everybody. What's up, Candles, David, Evan, Carthago, Felix, Mr. Lodak, Eddie, Bread. Yeah, Microsoft has flipped Apple, and I don't think that's going to change. I mean, Microsoft is, boy, amazing. Amazing. Microsoft's amazing. Amazing, not in the greatest ways either. But I mean, performance, yes, but everyone else, not so much. Couple more of these, I think, that are important. Have got my attention, and probably something that other people haven't looked at as much. We've got the crude oil situation. Remember, get back here. Crude oil is really interesting. We know crude oil futures, $70, right? Massive. There's the daily pattern at 70. Now 74 quietly. No one really talking about it. Weekly, it's a perfect T2. We've already checked back. We're going to get a dot, and that's going to start the process. Last week I was saying, give me stuff, give me patterns that have yet to move. Remember that? Patterns yet to move for 100, Alex. And this is one of them. One moment, please. Oh my goodness. Anyone had this cold? Anyone had this lung infection? You tell me how many weeks it'd take you to get over it? I think this is week 4 for me, or week 3. And today is brought to you by orange juice, not coffee. But this is big. It's big because it's early. We're deep down in that zone. People are sleeping on crude. And what are we spotting? Well, take a look. There's the T1. HSI, it's checked back. One bullish candle, maybe another bullish candle next week. And then you really got something here. To get back, run to 93, if not target 2 at 107. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. We could be talking about this for months. Maybe even come June, this will probably be a bigger development. And I cite that because we have massive patterns in a lot of these, Apache. Okay? Apache is a daily. It's a Gartley down here looking for a run to the hop. No confirmation yet, but believe me, you get to 29.96, I'm looking. And it's done this kind of ditch down that is oversold right now. So again, line these up. This is how we get to harmonic patterns. I'm trying to think every day. I try to think of like a relevant title, something to be considering, kind of like a takeaway. How do we get to a harmonic pattern? How do you get to a successful execution? You got to line it up. You got to stalk it like this. Analyze your confirmation variables. We know the level's like $30 on the money. But what are the indicators doing? A deep dive. So there's no movement, no action until those pop out. But we have it in other areas. I mean, that good old Warren Buffett, sans Charlie Munger, big daily massive type 2 shark on Oxy. Okay, we already had HSI up here. You're checked back 2 days ago. We need two bullish candles, but that's a 2 of 2, folks. That is a type 2. And this has done real nice pattern work. Look, back-to-back sharks. Type 1, bang, 2, all the way down. Thank you. Same deal. I mean, maybe we go as low as 54. Possible. But just know you're deep in the zone. You're looking for that turnaround. And that's how we position ourselves to get into these plays. That's how we capture, those larger moves. I showed some other patterns last time, some boring stocks that, same patterns. If it was Hormel Foods or some other things, they all do the same kind of deal where they go deep into the zone. If it's a type 2, sure. You take several bars. Really, you take several bars. It's not all the whole notion of like a insta pivot off of some magic number and then go is not how it works. This is all about zones and multiple bars, 30 bar segments, if you will, 2 bar, 3 bar reversals, all that kind of stuff. But we need to be in front of it to get it. And that's what we're doing here today. Here's the other one. Okay, the even in the kind of the directional ETFs, more speculative, but check out this Gush. Meant to show this last time, but Gush looks like this. Okay? If I took the pattern off, you'd say, what the heck is there, Scott? What's there? Well, let's look. Massive Gartley, and it's type 2. There you go. Now, $30 is the XA, but tell me, where's the confirmation? Not yet. This could surely go as low as 25.83, but you're really close. T2 went on yesterday. And look at your confirmation across the board. Daily, oversold, trying to pivot out. HSI already did, checking back. You are 2 days away. You are 2 positive candles away from sending this to a T2 up to 37.76. So be aware of that. And we've seen this also solar, right? CSIQ. A lot of them did a little oversold bounce towards the end of the year. But here you go. Big shark, another shark. Deep oversold, but your confirmation is more to like 19 or 20. The pattern's around 22.50. So I will look down here. I'm looking for some kind of pivot turnaround next week. Get them on your radar. Another one of those was this Sun Run. Down here, no, Sunrun wasn't. No, that's Sunoco. Boy, that's strong. C-Sun. That's not it. CSIQ. Oh, come on. Oh, First Solar. Let's look at that. First Solar. Massive Gartley, doing the same deal. Could come back down to 137, taking its time. But if we got a dot down here at 137, I would consider that whole consolidation zone done. A few others in that area. Generac, we talked about that last time. And looking to come down for the retest because it's a type 2. Get the picture here. A lot of energy setting up. CLNE, Shy, what's up? What's up, Shy? You want the CLNE? That's kind of in the same area. Clean energy fuels. No thanks. Listen, you got something like that that's a low floater. I would prefer one of the. I'd rather prefer the bigger conglomerate, Occidental Petroleum. These low floaters, they very much can become zombie positions. So I'll pass on that one. But thanks for the input. Thanks for the question. A couple others, things that um, setting up, coming together right now. What was it? Sorry, it was the Schlumberger. That was the other one. Schlumberger right here. We talked about the pattern for a while. It's a crab pattern. Now we got a dot coming in today. So a whole bunch of stuff developing now. There's the pattern. It is a crab right off the top. And this isn't easy, believe me. You could be staring something like that in the face and be like, oh, that's a beautiful crab. Let me just hit it right there. But no, there's no confirmation. There's your confirmation. A lot of consolidation, kind of ugly, but today's the first day. Today with confirmation is day one on Schlumberger, even though we've talked about it for about a month. Keep an eye on that, all right? Just trying to point you guys into areas where others are not looking, where we have massive pattern developments, and this is a bunch of these. Mike, what's EFR? I never heard of that one. Energy fuels? That's got to be a Canadian company, I guess. Yeah, it's a Gartley on the Toronto Exchange, but give me Occidental Petroleum over Energy Fuels or any of that. Go with the bigger ones, guys. I mean, listen, like, we're going to trade stocks. These are these great speculative creatures, but the bigger stocks, the higher market cap plays are smoother. Couple more before I jump over to crypto. What's going on? Evan wants to look at the dollar. Dollars like that. So dollar, not a big deal. 102 at the moment. After a long look, putting in a dot right now off of this bat pattern. And yeah, I mean, look, if dollar pops even within this range, that will cap the market. Interesting, the dollar's rallied in the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So is the market. So I'm aware of that. Keep an eye on it. I mean, we could say that. We could also say, look, the rate sector. That's another thing. Even with crypto, people are not talking about that. They're not talking about like what's going on with the 2-year. Okay, 2-year yield on the daily. Like this. Remember the bat pattern? It went back to back. Let me blow that up. There's the bat at 490, right at 5%, and then goes down to give a crab. So, look, this would be an interesting scenario. If for some reason the next couple of days, several sessions, we go from 435 to 455, I bet you watch the market cap off. At least get affected by that for now. And this pattern, actually both patterns are going to be huge for the year. I would be inclined to just anticipate a type 1 off the crab pattern, and then could we get to target 2 and then come down? Because this would be, for me, if we get a type 1 reaction off the bullish pattern and then the type 2 rolls over and fails later in the year, that's how you get the market to really sail. You get the dollar to drop. And but we have to go through in this reaction phase. That's where we are. One moment. No surprise. Okay. Think of it this way. Bitcoin Bitcoin's inflection last week was right there. Right at 420 on the interest rate on the 2-year yield. Everybody laugh. Bongs up. 420. That's your support. Go to 456. It's just kind of a quick temporary character shift where if the bonds are gonna the yields are gonna rally a little bit, you're gonna get some resistance in the market. We see all those bearish patterns, so trying to put those together. That does there is some correlation. So what about BTC? Okay, because BTC, see red. This is my crypto screen. A lot of red today. Not big red, but nominal red and BTC, fractionally 2%. But it's doing it at a spot where we know this is a massive point. Are we going to get the bigger correction? Are we going to get that 382? That's what we're all thinking. Right now, that 48.6 is it for now. And even if you can chill your jets for 30 days, as I said last time, just settle in and don't be surprised that we are in a retracement phase here for 30. There's 30 down there to the 10th of February. And if we even doubled that, go to 60, you start to get close to the halving. So within that kind of window, maybe 30 down and then 30 back up before the halving. But right now we're still down. Bitcoin coming in on this. It's not a big deal. But, that's how we have to accept the natural flow of things, the way that these unfold. And I said this last time. I said if we're really going to blast off, we would go straight to the 886. You wouldn't violate even a weekly low, and you're about to do that. Last week's low, 41,700. Where are you right now? 41,700. Okay, I'm not trying to FUD it here. I'm just trying to get people to get their brains around the framework. 618 all time. We talked about that possibility forever, and then, well, what do we know? Inflection, reaction. Can we go 382? The 382 on that was 36, 36.4. And then even if it's come on back down to an all-time 618, okay? 618 retracement. I'm not saying it's going there. I'm just saying consider the possibilities so that you're not FOMOing here. You'll get your opportunities on Bitcoin. It's just where's the C point that's going to make up the W formation to get us a crab pattern minimum 1618 cycle expansion. That's what really everyone, without even knowing what they're trying to get to, even a guy like Max Kaiser and Pompliano and Michael Saylor and all these guys, they are going for and they're anticipating a 1618 growth cycle. They're all assuming that Bitcoin's going to do an expansion cycle. It's going to go to new highs. I mean, even if they say go to forever highs, there's still a process to it. The other part for what we know about this formation, we know we need an X, an A B at the correct retracement. We also need a C that's a minimum 382. But there's other components that get you to this crab pattern. I mean, we have a extended AB, CD called alternate ABCD. And then even this little BC leg, I've mentioned that last week. Better served at a 618 here to then become a 3618. All of that to point to go to 103, 104,000. But we got to do this leg first. And if it's a 382, that might be a little tight. Even a 50%, this B leg is a 4.26. That's a little much. I really don't like more than 3618. I talk about that in Harmonic Trading Volume 1 as like the top range of harmonic retracements, harmonic levels. 3618. So, you know, that's what is at stake here. And that's why we're here at this level, anticipating, I would say, not only last week, but a 3-bar breakdown. Look, I think people are going to get a little concerned that you close under 40K, and then they will realize that there is a deeper retracement unfolding. That's what I'm saying. Deeper retracement. Couple more. What about Ethereum? What do we know harmonically about Ethereum? 2485. 2485, we have a yellow dot going in. We have HSI check back. The daily levels. 2485. What's going on at 2485? Right here is 2485. There. All right, and you hit it. You can't bust through. Last session I said, the beauty of the harmonic levels, it doesn't take more than 2 or 3 price bars to really understand possibilities off of a harmonic level. We saw that with the 618 on Bitcoin. Now you're 382, 2485 on Ethereum. It's just saying it, hey, look, I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to do my big move. And so come on back down, Ethereum. Just in some kind of short-term retracement. Few more. Cardano. Cardano's got the same deal, and that's at 48 cents, if not lower. Right? Crab pattern. And this one did a really swift. Look how fast that hit 60.96 cents. Rejected. I'll go to 39.5 cents. 39.5. All right. And finish the type 2 off of Cardano. Maybe even the other thing I don't think anyone's considering as well is back-to-back patterns. Maybe what will happen here is we will get off of the bearish, come back down to a bullish pattern. For me, okay, that would be a great sign of pattern development for something larger. I said that in the same way with XRP, and we just have to kind of bite the bullet this way that, look, 52 cents is incoming on XRP, if not a full 47-cent retest. It just is. The weekly, all of those structures, they remain the same. Okay, you still have big patterns. You're still looking for the cycle to do something like this eventually, or even if it was just an 886. Okay, you're looking for some massive retest of the prior pattern, but where you are in all of this still needs time, still needs a retest. Let's call it 52 on XRP. All right? So I think it's just, this is where the framework sticks out. Following the framework is what's going to get us through. Guys, I probably got about 1 or 2 more in me. I can already feel it. It's starting to lose my voice. I'll look at that storage. Yeah, storage. Remember storage at 70? We talked about this last week. It was a shark. I don't know what happened to the pattern. We were looking at 70, but the dot came in all the way here at 52. And now you're just retesting it. And so it's probably more like around 55, 60 cents. Even that opening 56 cents is that first yellow dot that we've seen. since the low for storage. And then final one, look, Solana, folks. This has been kind of the 30-day watch here, and we have, I posted this recently, we have an ABCD right off the top. Like this. This was essentially what I posted, right down to a 1618, almost perfectly. If I could get it right there, that's 1618. And that's at 84 bucks. And that's, look, this has not developed the way that you would want to see it if it's going to continue. Not to mention, remember the big weekly patterns at 122. Okay, this is 10. That's 122. You got to expect that thing to come back. What's the possibility here? Under 84. Will that become a type 2 at 47? I'm not saying that. I just want it to be understood that there's really no other possibility under 84. Excuse me. A lot going on here. I mean, there's just a lot of things from a harmonic perspective that are unfolding that I want you to be aware of. Where are we? A lot of these just completed a type 1 reaction on the weekly. Ethereum's a type 1 reaction. We're going to have to pay to play a bit more. Yeah, maybe it was the hourly. I'm not sure. But I just don't want you guys to be surprised when you see this come in a little bit lower for your next set of opportunities. So the patterns are telling us across the board. So pay attention to that. Listen, guys, I'm going to cut today short. I can already tell. I'm losing my voice. I'll be back Tuesday, okay? Thanks for a great session, quick session. We ripped through a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll come on back Tuesday totally fresh. So have a great weekend, everybody. As always, go get them.